Boo! Hello guys, and welcome back to another cold stream. On today's stream, we are back with some more Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, and as you can tell by the title and the thumbnail, maintenance should be upon us. Yep. Which means it's time for the waiting game. Hip hip hooray. We have a new pack that's coming out that is very exciting. Dracotail, Artmage, and Odion, or Tombkeeper, or Apophis, I don't know, man. Some people literally just call it man, which is peak comedy. But lots of very fun decks, I must say. I'm very excited for pretty much every single one of these, and I have like 0 gems, so brother's spending money today, which kind of sucks. That being said, very excited for this set. It's a very cool set, I must say, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Especially because with this set, I do think that the meta changes enough to warrant an actual interesting set of Duelist Cups. Set of? Set of is not the right term. Just generally, I think that the Duelist Cup will at least be interesting. My glasses are not looking good, guys. Holy crap, they are a mess. Hold on. Brother, what did I do? I'm surprised I was able to see through these. Dear Atlanta. Anyway, we have stuff to talk about. We're going to talk about stuff and things. I'm going to be ranking a whole bunch of decks because I found a tier list and I was like, cool, that's something we can do while we wait. So that's the general idea. Time to get a small sandblaster. To rip. Anyway. Yeah, we have stuff and things. We have things and stuff to look at. First of all, there's new cards. New cards, PogChamp, new cards. Which is actually pretty interesting. We have new Fairy Tales, which is wild. So there's that. I don't know if this makes Fairy Tail like a playable deck, but who knows? Maybe. I actually, there are some interesting Fairy Tales, if I'm not mistaken. Fairy Tail. Obviously Snow, right? But then you also have Luna, which searches out the entire deck, so there's that. We have Rella. Neither player can target monsters on the field with spell effects, spell cards or effects except for this one. Once per turn, you can discard a spell to equip one equip spell from your hand, deck, or grave to this card, or return that equip card to the hand during the end phase. Kind of a weird effect. So there's that. But hey, you know, adds untargetability. It's pretty mid. We have Rochka, which says when this card is normal summoned, you can make your opponent gain 500. Then your opponent looks at the top 3 cards, chooses one of them for you to add to your hand, and shuffle the rest back into the deck. That's kind of interesting. And then we have Sleeper, which I believe I've actually seen and played before. I've literally only seen Luna, Snow, and Sleeper played before, so that's something. Sleeper says, flip, you can special summon a monster from your hand. Not great, but it's playable. When your opponent activates a normal spell trap card, quick effect, you contribute one other monster. The activated effect becomes change a face-up monster your opponent controls to face-down defense position, which means that, you know, you have this, your opponent activates a thing, you tribute the other monster that you just special summon, and then put this back down, and then it flips back up, and it special summons, paired with, like, Luna Light, or, not Luna Light, paired with Luna, it's something, right? And apparently they had a continuous spell. I've literally never seen this in my life. What the hell? Tails says, reveal a spellcaster with 1850 attack, and a different name from the monsters you control to immediately after this effect resolves. Normal summoner, set it. Okay. You can only use this effect once per turn. And the first time each turn, you would take battle damage or effect damage while you control a spellcaster with 1850 original attack. You take no damage. Interesting. I don't know if this matters, but I don't know. It's an extra normal, kind of. Let's read the new cards. We have Match Lily, which is... Holy crap, is this the story of the little match girl? That's a tale, I guess. Surely not, right? Surely that's not what this is. Sure, I think it is. That's crazy. If you don't know the story of the little match girl, it's a very sad story where basically a little girl freezes to death at night. Basically, like, she's selling matches. This, like, orphan is selling matches on the street in the cold, and as she ends up having to, like, light her own matches to keep herself warm. And as she lights the matches, she sees, like, visions of family and like a warm home and all of that stuff, right? However, the last match dies, and then she dies with it, and it's very sad. It's a terrible story. I hate it. It's not even, like, really that interesting of a story, but it's one that everyone tells. Anyway, very interesting. It is the little match girl. That's crazy. Anyway, we do have the level 4 light spellcaster effect monster with 1850, 1000. You can only use the first and second and third effect of this card name once per turn. If a spellcaster with 1850 original attack is on the field, you can special summon this card from hand or grave. Also, you cannot special summon for the rest of this turn except for spellcaster monsters. Okay, that is yeah, okay, that's pretty solid. If this card is normal or special, you can add a Fairy Tale spell trap from deck to your hand. That is something, at the very least. This is like rank 4 shenanigans. I don't know what spellcaster rank 4 you would go into. Apparently, they wanted you to make fusions for some fucking reason. Seems odd, but okay. And then you can pay 500 life points. Oh, that's where the, like, gaining 500 comes in. But no, you give 500 to your opponent. What the hell? Okay. The name of one effective monster your opponent controls becomes Fairy Prince. Oh, that's adorable. Oh, that's so funny. Wait, I could care less about whether or not this actually comes up. That is a perfect effect. Thank you. The classical moral is don't wait to be kind. People just let her be cold and then mourn her afterwards. Yeah, true. I forgot about that. That being said, I still think it's a terrible story. Because it's basically just like, hey, what if this little girl died? And you're like, what the fuck? That's basically the story. It spends so little time with, like, her and any other person. And it's just like, oh. Anyway, at least the story that I remember. Version of it. I guess the other cards reveal the implication behind the Fairy Prince. Yeah. Very cool effect. Weaver of Fairy Tale Tales. Ew. It's a level 4 Earth spellcaster fusion effect monster. Requires Fairy Tale and a spellcaster monster. You can only use first effect of this card name once per turn. During the main phase, you can special summon a Fairy Tale monster from deck or banishment. Interesting. If this card is normal, or sorry, if you normal or special summon a non-Earth Fairy Tale monster, while this monster is on the field, you can target an effect monster your opponent controls, negate its effects, and it becomes Fairy Prince. Adorable. Any Fairy Prince on the field becomes a spellcaster monster. Okay, is this just a thing where it's like, oh, you are now a different name, therefore you can't be used as the material for a thing? Which, like, sure. Okay. How the hell are we fusion summoning this? What am I supposed to... am I just supposed to play polymerization? Oh, wait, there is a, there is a rank 4. We have Chronicler of the Fairy Tale Tales, which is a level 4 Earth spellcaster fusion effect monster with 1850, 1000, as does everything. Requires a light Fairy Tale monster and a spellcaster monster. Is this the same thing? No, this just requires a Fairy Tale monster. Oh, this one specifically requires the main deck monsters. That's what it's saying. Okay. I was a little confused, but I get it. Requires, sorry, you can only use the first and third effect of this card's name once per turn. If this card is fusion summoned using Fairy Prince as material. Wait, what? Wait, what? Okay, sure. Okay. You can destroy as many cards on, you destroy as many cards your opponent controls as possible, and if you do, inflict 500 damage to them for each. Okay. Your Fairy Tale monsters cannot be destroyed by battle. Sure. And when your opponent activates a card or effect, you can banish a Fairy Tale card from your hand or grave, except Tails, to negate the activation and destroy that card. Ah, I see. It's Mechaba. Cool. No. These are cartoon animals written by people. I mean, that makes sense, right? They're cartoon animals written by people. That makes sense. Sure. Anyway, we have Wicket, which is a level 4 dark spellcaster Xyz effect monster with 1850-1000. Requires 2 level 4 spellcaster monsters. You can only use the second and third effect of this card's name once per turn. Fairy Tale monsters you control whose original attribute are light, are unaffected by the opponent's activated effects. Fairy Tale monster. Oh, you control. Interesting. You can detach up to 2 materials from this card. Send that many Fairy Tale cards from your deck to the grave, except Fairy Tale Tails. If this card is in your graveyard, you can target 1 Fairy Tale monster you control whose original attribute is light. Special summon this card. If you do, send that card to the graveyard. Sure. The hell does this accomplish? Okay, yeah, no, I mean, it dumps cards. That's like the big thing, right? Is that it sends cards. You send Fairy Tales now, right? Okay. We have a Fairy Tale Long, Long Ago, which is a quick play spell card. Oh, look, she's reading to people. This says you can only use the first and second effect of this card any once per turn. Special summon up to 1 light Fairy Tale monster with different names, each from your hand, grave, and or banishment. Also, you cannot special summon for the rest of this turn, except for spellcaster monsters. Hand, grave, and or banishment. Summon up to 1. Why does that... What? I'm sorry. No, hold on. Wait, my brain broke actually reading that. Special summon up to 1 light Fairy Tale monster with different names, each from hand, grave, and or banishment. And you're locked into spellcasters. What? If I'm not mistaken, Snow is currently only banned in the TCG, right? Yeah. So it's very, very playable. It's at 3 in the OCG? Why is it at 3 in the... Oh, right, because the OCG is terrible. This is a weird card. Sorry, hold on. I'm still... Why does it... Why? What does it say up to 1? Is this a misprint? No. What? Why? Maybe? Maybe it is. I'm so confused. Okay. If this card is sent to the graveyard, except from the field, or becomes banished, you can set it. But it cannot be activated unless you control a Fairy Tale monster. Similar to that of, like, a set off of, like, Lady Lab. Lovely Lab. Snow from hand, Sleeper from deck, etc. No, that's not how this card works, because you can only special summon 1. Special summon up to 1 light Fairy Tale monster with different names. From hand, grave, and or banishment. So it does just state, like, special 1. Unless there's a card that manipulates the amount of cards that you can summon off of an effect, you actually only just get 1. You only get 1. You can't summon dupes in variable amount. For some reason. Yes. I feel like this is to set up some sort of, like, manipulation with the number of monsters you can use. Or, like, the number of things that you can summon. Or, like, targets for a card or something like that. Like, you know how in Magic, sometimes you can copy a card's effect that allows you to choose an additional target? That's kind of what I'm thinking with this. Is like, oh, here's an effect that allows you to summon 1, but maybe there's an effect that allows you to use the effect of a card that would allow you to summon 1 to summon 2. I don't know. That sounds really dumb, but, like, maybe? I don't know. Anyway. Fairy Tale Ball, which is a field spell that says you can only activate one of this card's name per turn. When this card resolves, you can add a Fairy Tale monster or a Fairy Tale Tales from deck or banishment to your hand. Your Fairy Tale monsters your Fairy Tale monsters can attack directly. Ew. Once per turn, if your opponent special summons a monster and you control a Fairy Tale monster, you can target an effect monster your opponent controls, negate its effects. Also, its name becomes Fairy Prince. Whoa, super poly targets. Oh, what's up? How's it going? Sure. Wait, hold on. What is Fairy Tale Tales? What? When this card resolves, you can add one Fairy Tale monster or Fairy Tale. Oh, it's the continuous. Oh, okay. I about lost my mind. I thought it was this thing for a second, and I was like, wait a second. We're good. I'm just crazy. Okay. From deck or banishment, notably. Is Fairy Tale and Charmers going to be the plan with this deck? No. I mean, you would obviously play, like, the extra deck Charmers. But there's not a whole... I mean, you probably only play, like, what? Dark, Ausa, and Lina, right? Light, Earth, and Dark. For the attributes, but other than that, you probably not. It's probably, like, Alistair, right? You just play, like, Alistair with this. Anyway, we have one more card. Which is an equip spell. Hey, maybe there's an equip spell worth playing. Tales of Fairy Tale, which is an equip spell card. It says you can only use the third effect of this card's name once per turn. The equipped monster gains 1,000 attack once per turn. You could fusion summon a spellcaster fusion monster from your extra deck using monster from your hand or field. You can also use any fairy prince your opponent controls. There it is. That's what we're doing. There we go. And that encapsulates an additional Fairy Tale card and actually makes it worthwhile. You discard a different spell to grab up this thing, and there's your fusion spell. I was wondering when we were going to get to that. There we go. If this card is in the graveyard, you can equip it to a Fairy Tale monster on the field. Then, immediately after this effect resolves, normal summon a spellcaster with 1850. Ah, interesting. Interesting. What? Why? What? Why did I read those? They naturally synergize because of equal attack and defense, but they just do not synergize past that. Yes, that is exactly it. That being said, I feel like you're way better off just playing pure Fairy Tale. Because what? You play Snow, you play Luna, you play Rel, right? Which is the Equip Searcher. And you play... Maybe you play Sleeper, but then you play Match Lil. And, like, that's kind of enough, right? And then you play the actual payoffs. Yeah. What's up, Mercro? How's it going? This is something that actually makes Fairy Tale a competent strategy put together. Is it going to be good? No. Is it going to be better than Ascend? I don't know. Ascend Warrock tier is where I'm guessing this is going to land. It'd be cool if it was slightly better, but let's be honest, it's going to break to high heaven, and that's exactly what Ascend does. Just saying. Anyway, that's all. I found that funny. Coolio. Let's take a look at the introduction to Unchained. I have no idea why this came out now. I don't know who wrote this. I don't know who was like, let's make an Unchained guide in 2025. Because this deck hasn't done anything since like early 2024 or like mid 2024, right? In like July. And that was in the TCG. It never did anything in Master Duel. So I don't... That being said, we got to take a look at it. I love this deck. This deck's awesome. Who the hell... I'm sorry. Hold on. I immediately am questioning the validity of this because there is a number 0 next to Rakea, and I cannot fathom as to why you would ever play 0 Rakea in Unchained. Huh? If destroy, 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 then destroy, and then if destroy, destroy, and then destroy, and then if destroy, destroy. Yeah, that's pretty much Unchained. Anyway, the level 3s! All of the main deck level 3s share the effect of the Unchained hand or deck when destroyed by battle, or card effect that is not their own. Yep. They're saying play 1 to 3 Aruha. I have no idea why in any world you would not play 3 Aruha. It's either 0 or 2. No. They're saying you shouldn't. What I'm seeing from this is that there is a world in which you play 0 copies of Rakea, and to that I say wrong, incorrect. You always play at least 1. Rakea is crazy. It's very useful. Maybe not crazy, but it's extremely useful, and it comes up so consistently, and just having that additional guy to cycle through is very important. Sarama I've also played at 2, often. Sarama is a card I have played often at 2, because while, yes, it doesn't actually provide you any, like, value on the opponent's turn, what it does is set up that value very effectively. So, don't know about that. 1 to 2, wrong. 1 to 2, wrong. These are both potential 3-ofs. Reason being, you need something to destroy. You gotta destroy something. Same with Wailing. This is a 1-of. Who's coming up with these? I gotta know who's coming up with these numbers. You're just wrong. You are blatantly wrong. I refuse to believe that you are correct in any sense of the word. You are wrong, sir, ma'am, individual. You should play Wailing. Wailing is crazy. There are so many times where this comes up. I always play 3 Abominable Chamber because there are so many instances where I don't have the ability to play because I don't draw something that I can pop. And having the ability to pop something is very important. Oftentimes, the best way to do that is through one of these guys. So, I just max out on them. I do only play 2 Escape. But there you go. Yeah, I'm also perplexed by the Unchained guide. That's a year late! No wonder it's terrible. Already! A-Bomb Prison, sure, yeah, it makes sense. Level 8s, yep. No, I also have played Disaster. Disaster's not terrible. Why are we only playing 1 Soul of Rage? I'm sorry, what the fuck is happening? No. I can understand saying like, oh, you don't play Disaster. I've played it occasionally. I wouldn't say that it's don't play it. You don't play it as often. That being said, 1 Soul of Rage. What are you playing if you're only playing 1 Soul of Rage? 0 Anguish. You got it. You have to play Anguish. What are we playing? What are we telling people? Are we saying you can't play anything? This seems so silly. This seems so dumb. But okay, sure. I can understand the 0 to 1 A-Bomb. Sure, that makes sense. I don't agree with it. I think A-Bomb is absolutely busted. But like, what? I refuse to believe this. I refuse to believe it. You need like 3 of this card. This card's crazy. Soul of Rage is one of the craziest cards of all time. More and more like a side engine guide than an actual Unchained guide. Exactly. Rage bait guide. Bro said play Unchained only as an engine. It's like, what the who the hell is playing Unchained as an engine right now? Why in the hell would I ever play it as an engine? Other extra deck monsters, sure, yeah, okay. Other engines, Fiendsmith, sure. Tour guide with the new Buyo. Bugo, this guy. The DDD engine I think is just terrible. Mostly due to the fact that it requires you to basically play only engine, which just doesn't work currently, especially in Master Duel. So there's that. The Millennium engine. What? Okay. Why in the hell are we playing the Millennium engine? It can give you more Fiendsmith access without normal. Good at baiting negates. Doomed Dragon forces out Disruption. Going second, you can sometimes put Unchained monsters into back row graveyard for advantage. Buzzking can be played for extra deck rip. 1 targeted destruction going second. As a fiend for Unchained Soul of Yama. Millennium is not one of the best engines for Unchained, especially after the Apple ban. I've never seen this in Unchained. What the hell? Yeah. The Bubio stuff I actually do think is pretty interesting. Fiend Slop. Ah, that's why. Because it's Fiend Slop. I ain't reading this shit. Hold on. Wait, I have to read the tour guide one because I gotta know what they're going for. Normal tour guide. Tour guide effect to summon Buio. Make Moon. Buio summon Buio in order to add Mutiny. Summon Requiem. Activate Requiem to summon Lacrima. Send Engraver. Engraver shuffle back Moon. Requiem equipped to Lacrima. Summon Necroquip using Lacrima and Requiem. Summon Sequence with both monsters. What? Why do we summon Necroquip? What the fuck? What? Why the hell did we summon Necroquip? Sequence effect to summon Aerial Eater. Oh, that's why. Using Tour Guide and Necroquip. Because we're summoning Aerial Eater, which then sends Sharvara to set Escape, and then make Yama add a Ruha, and then a Ruha Escape, summon itself, summon Sarama. Sarama effect to set Escape, pop a Ruha summon Shiyama, link off Shiyama and Yama. For Soul of Rage, activate Shiyama Engrave to pop Sarama, summon itself, Sarama, summon Sharvara, overlay Sharvara for Caesar, activate Mutiny in the Sky to summon Desiree using Requiem, Lacrima, and Engraver, equip Sequence to Desiree. Oh, crazy. There we go. There we go. That's why. That's why we went for the Necroquip. Because we're also playing Aerial Eater. That's why the extra deck looks so terrible. Ah! Because we're playing basically Fiend Slop as opposed to Unchained. Which, sure. Dude, this extra deck looks like ass. Why is he here? No. Stop. Get this guy out of here. Put in the second Rage. Also, remove a Gundam. Remove the Gundam. Put in the actual guy that matters. Why is she here? But Soul of Rage. Soul of Rage. Put in Soul of Rage. The card that actually fucking does something in this deck. I'm sorry. I'm having an aneurysm. My tremendous king. There's also only one fucking DDD? I'm sorry. This is delusional. Brother has never played Unchained in his life. What are you talking about? Seeing only one Wave King Caesar is hurting me physically. This is just combo slop. It's not even like what makes Unchained good. One of the greatest things about Unchained is that they're like impossible to kill. Because it's like, hey, do you want to destroy a thing? Good luck. I'm going to generate 10 cards off of that. Ahahaha. Good luck killing me. That's why you need all of these like extra guys in your extra deck. There's no Muckracker. Ah! Help. I'm losing my mind. It's one of the reasons why I don't like the Fiendsmith stuff in Unchained. I actually don't think Fiendsmith is worth it in Unchained. I feel like you're better off just playing like Unchained, just regular ass Unchained. Because you actually get all of the benefits of Unchained without any of the downsides of playing into the Roach or Fua, which you just like can't do if you're playing the Fiendsmith stuff. I don't hate Buio as an additional piece of the engine, but I've never been a fan of the Unchained Fiendsmith stuff. But sure. Alright. Yeah, sure. What else are you gonna do? Am I right? What else are you gonna do but play Fiendsmith? At that point, play Mitsu. Just put the Mitsu cards in there. Just fucking put them in there. Why not? What is their synergy? I don't fucking know. Make the Mitsu cards. Who cares? It's fine. I'm fine. Hey, what does the tier list look like? No, that seems... No, that seems about right. Just absolute fucking garbage. 10 out of 10 does. Anyway. I found the Yu-Gi-Oh! Classic Artwork tier list. It's just a bunch of classic artworks. We could rank that. Yeah. Yeah. So we're gonna do that. Why are there so many tiers? What the hell? S, A, B, C, F. F. Hello? Hello? What the fuck? Is Zork just a good matchup for Draco? No. Nope. It's not like it's particularly bad. I just don't think it's a good matchup. A good matchup would be like... like a deck with a lot of pushes, like tier or something like that. But no, not really. Yeah, Arthalion is kind of crazy. Anyway, artworks. Yeah, this is just... I don't think it's every classic one, but it's a lot of classic Yu-Gi-Oh artworks. We're gonna start with Robin Goblin. This one's pretty solid. It's one of the greatest things about old school Yu-Gi-Oh is that, like, the ghouls and goblins, they look awesome. Draco gonna be easy tier 1 now? Yes. I think alongside Mitsu, it's pretty much those two decks. I think there are a few other decks that are... I don't think Dracotail is so far away above everything else that other decks cannot compete, but I do think Dracotail is significantly stronger than most other decks besides Mitsu. And I think it is a clear deviation from the other decks, right? It's like Dracotail, Mitsu in a clear tier 1, and then kind of everything else in like tier 2, tier 3, etc. Card of Sanctity. This one's okay. I'm not too big of a fan of that one. Ultimate Dragon. I actually really don't like this artwork. I think it's a pretty terrible artwork. Reason being, it just looks like a mess. It's so hard to tell what's going on here. While it is iconic, that does not mean that it's good. Just saying. Curse of Dragon, I think, is a fine one. It's fine. Harpy's Feather. I actually don't like this Harpy's Feather Duster artwork. I think it's... I don't know. It's got a monster on it for some fucking reason. Or is that supposed to be a trap? I don't know. Farfetch'd is notorious for just making the worst piles imaginable. Is a Chaos Ruler Defender, as you know. True. Lava Golem is fine. I mean, it is a Lava Golem. And there's like a chest, or a chest? There is a little cage in the chest, which is it's kind of cool. Polymerization. Do we have the OG polymerization? I don't think this is the original polymerization. Am I wrong? Isn't the other one the original? Isn't the one that Master Duel uses the original? I could be wrong. Either way, I'm fine with this one. I think the other one's a little bit better. This one doesn't look nearly as much like they are fusing. So, it's fine. It's not my favorite, though. Red Eyes Black Dragon, a classic. It's not my favorite artwork of Red Eyes Black Dragon, but this one is a good one. I don't dislike it. Level... What is this? Level Magician? Silent Magician level something or other. It's pretty terrible. It's pretty bad. I really don't like it. It's kind of mid. This one's a little bit better, but it's kind of just generic mage. Speaking of, big-ass sword, little tiny guy. Hilarious. Peak comedy, 10 out of 10. Exactly what I love about Yu-Gi-Oh! Level 4, thank you. Is that level 4? I thought it was level 3. Either way. Summon Skull. That's not Summon Skull's artwork. What the fuck? Wait, why he look like that? Yu-Gi-Oh! Summoned Skull. Am I wrong? Yeah, his background's weird. Okay, I'm not crazy. I thought it was crazy. I was like, wait a second. That doesn't look right. It wasn't. Oh, I have to freaking... Oh. Curse you, Barry the Platypus. I'm gonna put in the correct picture because the background does matter. Yeah, that's so... Why does that look weird? Oh, yeah, he's also, like, cropped differently. Yeah, this one looks gross. What the fuck is that? Why does he look like that? He looks so weird. He looks small. Anyway, goated artwork. 10 out of 10. No nuts. It's perfect. This is exactly why you play Yu-Gi-Oh! And this is also exactly why your mother told you not to play Yu-Gi-Oh! When you were a kid. She'd be like, what is that? And you're like, it's Summoned Skull. It's my favorite monster. And she's like, summoned what? Is that the Rush Duel art? Honestly, it could be. You're probably right. But that is not the classic. We're talking about classics here. Claw of Hermos is just generic-ass dragon. I'm really not that big of a fan of it. It's not it's not F tier. It's fine. It works. The OG is Summoned Demon, so it's even worse. True. Revival Jam. I actually do like this little goober, but he's not great in terms of artwork. Ancient Slime thing. I mean, he's kind of like Exodia. Not Exodia. Obelisk. Anyway. Gazelle, King of Mythical Beasts, is like a classic Yu-Gi-Oh! Art, but not really anything too interesting. I don't know what the fuck is going on with Gandora. I don't know who hurt him, but he's struggling. Also, this isn't... That's also not the correct I'm sorry. Hold on. Is that not the right Gandora? Yeah, that's not the right Gandora. Son of a bitch. That's not even the right Gandora. This is Gandora. They tricked me. Again. This is Gandora. Yeah, he's fine. He's fine. Why is... That's Gandora X, right? No, it's, no, it's a different one. Gandora... What the fuck? Gandora... Giga Rays? Is that it? Yeah, this one's Giga Rays. This is like the XZ one. What the fuck? Anyway. Crazy. Egyptian God Slime was the type of DM era BS that I could get behind. True. What's up, Quiet Kid? How's it going? Alligator Sword is just Alligator Sword, man. With also one of the worst helmets you've ever seen. Barrel Dragon. I don't know. He's fine. Harpy. The censored version. To be fair, either version of the Harpies is like super mid. We're just ranking all of the artworks from, well, a lot of the artworks from OG Yu-Gi-Oh! Beaver. As much as I love Beaver Warrior, because look at his dinky little sword. He is just like a basic Yu-Gi-Oh! Artwork. He's not really doing anything interesting. Where's the uncensored gun barrel? Who cares? My boy Lewis. True. Barrel Dragon's uncensored art is goated. I do disagree with you. I think it's fine. Actually, I'm not going to type that in. Or Ridge. There we go. Surely it'll show up, right? Yeah, this one? Yeah, you like that one? Yeah, that one? That's the one we like? I'm sorry. I have to... This one is, like, infinitely better. It just is. This one's not bad. No, I'm lying to you. This one's terrible. Not because of the guns, but because it is incomprehensible. This is just an amalgamation of mush. This is kind of funny. The green ruins the OG 1,000%. This is hard to look at. This one's just kind of funny looking. But, like, it actually does look like laser cannons, which is kind of funny. And for the most part, it works. I think it just looks better because it actually looks like something instead of just gobbledygook. Anyway, that's all. The OG is... I forgot the background is a psychedelic mess. Well. Well. When's Master Duel back? Never. It died. Big Shield Gardna is just a guy. It's just a shield. It's just a guy. BLS, the OG BLS, by the way. Not Chaos Envoy. It's good artwork. I like it. It's very clean. It's very classic. I don't know what the fuck he's doing with his leg. He's just chilling, I guess. Against nothing, by the way. He's just chilling. That being said, Chaos Envoy of beginning of the end or something. I don't remember. Whatever his name is. BLS Chaos Dingus. Pretty good one as well. Pretty good one. Of course, we gotta put my boy, the GOAT. I literally contain this card within my wallet at all times. If I'm not mistaken. I might be mistaken. I think I took it out. Why did I take it out? I don't know. Did it fall out? Oh, it might have broke. I might no longer have that card. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Anyway. I used to keep it in my wallet. I don't know where it is now. Oh, that's right. It's in my, it's in my Blue Eyes deck. Anyway. Speaking of, what is this? Black Skull Dragon, if I'm not mistaken. This one's also goated. I had a toy of this card. I had a little toy. I would play with it all the time. It was just like that artwork. Just as a little plastic toy. It was great. It was awesome. 10 out of 10. No notes. Actually, it's not better than Summon Skull. This is just guy with sword. This is just guy with sword. Let's be honest. Buster Blader. Iconic card. Not an iconic artwork. I think it's a very forgettable artwork. I think it's pretty mid. Funniest Yu-Gi-Oh card ever. Grass. It's a Rush Duel card. Oh, I have seen Grass. It's a great card. I love it. 10 out of 10. No nuts. Card Destruction. Yeah, this one's pretty good. This one's pretty good. I like it. Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, it's pretty good. Old Night Paintings also often have BLS pose. That is true. It still doesn't make sense as to what they're doing with their leg. But you're not wrong. Chaos Emperor is also pretty solid. That's it. Celtic Guardian is just... he is just a guy. That being said, he's a little interesting. He's basically just Link, but, like, that's kind of all you need to be. Link's cool. That being said, if they did anything even remotely interesting with him, he'd be cooler. But he is posed in the most bland, boring-ass way imaginable. Change of Heart is insane. It's crazy that they got away with this. That's all. That's all. Change of Heart is... this is like Nibiru level quality when it comes to just perfect artworks. Change of Heart is such a goated artwork for not only the name of the card, but also the effect. Just peak. Peak. Oh, baby. Crass Clown. I actually love this artwork. Dude, look at him. He's a fucking dead clown. God damn. He looks good. It's so clear it's a zombie. And it's such a, like, disgusting clown. It's so good. Probably my favorite artwork in Yu-Gi-Oh! Change of Heart is... it's so good. Virus card's pretty solid. I actually don't hate this one. Cyber Jar's pretty cool. Not really anything too interesting, but like it's something. It kind of reminds me of like a sci-fi battle station, like the Borg or like the Death Star or something like that. Where it's just like this mechanical behemoth thing, except it's just a little guy. That's all. Dark Magician OG. While it is a classic, yeah, it's a classic. Yeah, it's a classic. Yeah, it's a classic. Yeah, it actually does deserve its classic status in terms of like quality. I think this is a really, really solid artwork, right? That being said, weird pose. Nonetheless, very cool artwork. The ring in the background is incredible. That being said, Dark Magician Girl is very mid. It's really not that interesting. It's such a step down because it's basically just person looking at camera, and it's like, So I don't love it. Best art of DM, hands down. I don't think hands down, because I think the Dark Side of Dimension DM is my personal favorite, but it is one of the best. Curse of Necrofear. Oh, baby. I literally had nightmares about this card as a kid. I literally saw this card and was like, that's the demon. I get it now. Demonic presence. And honestly, I think I was correct. I think I was right about this game. Curse of Necrofear is horrifying, which is perfect. That's exactly what it's supposed to be. But that does not mean that I was not terrified. DMG is better in manga and anime because you can see her fully. Absolutely. I think this is just like a bad posing for Dark Magician Girl. Favorite card is probably King of the Skull Servants or Magical Meltdown. Magical Meltdown is goated. True. My personal favorite artwork is Shuraig. It's one of the reasons why I love Tri Brigade. It's one of the reasons why I like Link Monsters. Shuraig is just a goated card. Anyway, beside the point. Dark Paladin, I think it's fine. It's kind of goofy, but it works. Borland. Borland's a cool card. Dark Sanctuary Castle thing. I actually really like this one. Very cool. Not only is it a very menacing castle with a very menacing path, it's also got 10 million eyes looking at you. Horrifying. Awesome. I have time A's. Mid as hell. What is this one? Fang of Critias? Mid as hell. Silent Swordsman, number something or other. I forget which Silent Swordsman. I don't know, it's Guy. It's just Cloud. Dark Necrofear could have been the final form of a monster in an 80s horror movie. John Carpenter flick involving Bakura would have went hard. True. True. But again, Curse of Necrofear. Incredible. The other Dark Paladin art is better. I do agree with that. Dark Oh my gosh, I can't type. Funko? What the fuck? This one? Or this one? I like this one. A lot better. I don't know where the hell this... When was this one? Anyway. Defuse. I actually do like this artwork. It's not insane, but it works. Toon Blue Eyes, I'm actually not that big of a fan of. I think it just doesn't encapsulate what Blue Eyes is. Like, it doesn't... While it does look like Blue Eyes White Dragon, I don't think it makes it toonified enough. Or, like, in the right way. And I think this happens with a lot of the Toon monsters, in particular, where they're just like, oh, it's a toonified version of this card. And it just, like, doesn't quite capture that aesthetic properly, if that makes sense. Like, this barely looks like Blue Eyes. I don't know. I just not a fan of it. New alt art for Fusion Deployment is your favorite right now? Rude. Poor Albaz. I don't know what I need to say about Toon World. Toon World is great. Holy crap. What a phenomenal artwork. Also, this just reminds me of Soul Eater, which is a pretty solid anime till about like halfway through, but it's a pretty good one. It reminds me of the opening of the first season, which was phenomenal. But yeah, Toon World, 10 out of 10. It looks awesome. Baby Dragon. While it is iconic, it's also really weird. Monster Reborn. I love this artwork. I have no idea what's going on with this artwork, and that's what makes it incredible. That's what makes it incredible. Imagine if Toon World and Fairy Tail had synergy. Trip. It's a Toon World out there, Kaiba boy. Speaking of which, the Ankh is just... this is such a shit artwork. It is crazy that anyone actually thinks that this artwork is comparable to this. The Ankh is boring as hell. Oh, religious connotation. I don't give a shit. They were absolutely correct to change Ankh for Monster Reborn to whatever goober this is. I don't know what it is. It's incredible. It's perfect. No notes. It's awesome. This, it's just an Ankh. And like, who cares? Who cares? Seal of Orichalcos. While it is iconic, I don't necessarily think that it's that great of an artwork. It's just kind of a ring with, I don't know, a pentagram. It's not really a pentagram. It's kind of a pentagram in there. The Ankh does mean rebirth. Yeah, I know. That's why it's boring. It's literally just like, hey, reborn, because reborn. You're like, wow. That's it? That's all you're giving me? At least, like, make the Ankh remotely interesting. I'm like, no. Anyway. Graceful Dice, I love this artwork. Same thing with Skull Dice. Great artworks. 10 out of 10. Okay, not 10 out of 10s. But they're like a solid, like, 8 out of 10s. They're pretty good. They're very cute and, yeah, that's it. That's it. I like them. They're cool. Anyway. Legendary Fisherman is such a mid artwork. Like, it works, but eh. Ankh makes perfect sense, but it doesn't feel Yu-Gi-Oh! Enough for me. Yeah, the Ankh, it's similar in nature to, like, the Foolish Burial one as well, where it's like, there's something about the cross in Foolish Burial that I don't care for, whereas, like, the actual tombstone, I think it just looks better. It's similar in nature to this, except for the Ankh is just boring. The thing is, this is such a unique card artwork, and this is just the thing. I was like, yeah, cool. It'd be like if I took a picture of, I don't know, what's a good picture? It's like if I took a picture of a fish and was like, fish. I'm like, wow, cool. And that was it. As opposed to, like, taking a picture of, you know, a fish swimming through the ocean and, like, seeing a bird swooping down on it. Like, that's the difference. Ankh making perfect sense does not matter if it's boring. It's a boring artwork. That's the problem. It works. It tells you what it is, but it's boring as hell. It's like, Ankh. It's like, oh, wow. This is a goober. The Ankh fits Yu-Gi-Oh? No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. You can't tell me. Okay, where the fuck does this fit in with anything here? What are you talking about? This is the most out-of-place card in the entire artwork arsenal. What are you talking about? This looks like shit. Compare this to fucking Summon Skull and you're like, yeah, dude, these totally make sense. No, get this shit out of here. This guy, that goober, this thing, that's what we're talking about. That's the guy. That's all. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Swords. Pretty good artwork. I really like it. It fits the anime, not the TCG. I will agree with that. It does technically fit the anime a little bit better. But the Ankh, literally, this feels so out of place. This feels more in theme with, like, some shitty 90s TCG. Oh, yeah. Like Yu-Gi-Oh! But no, like one of those, like, one-off TCGs that showed up and, you know, during the big TCG boom and just never went anywhere. Like Harry Potter or SpongeBob or something like that. And you're just like, yeah, it's picture of thing. Or like the new Avatar The Last Airbender cards in Magic the Gathering. Dude, they literally just took screen caps of a bunch of different parts in the anime and were like, here's a card. And you're like, why? Why would it? This looks awful. That's all. Thank you. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Moving on. Soul Exchange. I don't know. It works. Swordsman of Landstar. This is a weird-ass artwork. I don't know what it is. It just looks weird. Makes more sense if you follow the anime and see it being played with Exodia and the like. Again, yeah. It works for the anime. But it doesn't work for the TCG. And it doesn't make it a good artwork. It makes sense, right? But that doesn't mean it's good. Right? It's the same thing with, like, Harpy's Feather Duster or Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon or something else of that nature. It's like, yeah, it makes sense. That doesn't mean I have to like it. It's bad. Yeah, Cruel Tutor. As well as literally, like, every other of the... There's just screen grabs of a way better show. But they're like... Oh, anyway. Magic is very silly. What is this? Ring of... I don't remember what artwork this is for. I don't remember what card it is. Anyway. The Hasbro Wizard of the Coast Avatar fumble must be studied. Do you know what's funny about that? It's actually really cool. Avatar is way better than, like, a myriad of these other Universe Beyond sets. That being said, its artwork is unbelievably terrible. They screen grabbed the same scene twice. That's hilarious. Ring of Defense, thank you. It's fine. It's actually, yeah, it's middle of the pack. I have so many issues with this one. This is a terrible artwork. I have no idea what's going on here. Please explain to me anything. It feels like I'm missing half of the picture, or it's not zoomed in enough. What is happening? This picture bothers me so much. It genuinely feels like they made a way bigger picture and then just, like, cut it down as much as they could. It's like, awesome. It really is just, it looks so bad. I wish it was better, because it's a cool card. It's the combination of BLS, this BLS, if I'm not mistaken, and, oh, no, it's, is it BLS? I don't, yeah, I think, or is it Chaos something or other? Chaos Dark Magician. One of those. Anyway, one of the boss monsters of Yu-Gi, and like, Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. But he just looks so bad. He just looks so bad. Anyway. Zombie Dragon. This one, I also think, is an iconic artwork, similar to that of Crass Clown, where it is very clearly a zombie and very clearly a dragon. And it's awesome. It works really well. Great artwork. Enemy controller is literally just a controller. It's not really all that interesting, so I'm going to put it pretty low. Exchange looks so strange. This looks so goofy. Like, Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards have been in other artworks. This one makes it look the weirdest. And while it works, it only kind of works. I'm not that big of a fan of it. That being said, why are you not fucking stealing Mirror Force? That's all. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Magician of Black Chaos is the other boss. Thank you. That's what I was thinking it was. Yeah. Exodia, while it is iconic, it's actually not that incredible of an artwork. It's pretty basic. It's just guy in frame. The thing with Exodia, though, is that you must consider that it is not just the head of Exodia, but the entirety of Exodia. And the entirety of Exodia is godlike. It's one of the greatest artworks in any TCG because it is the culmination of several different artworks put together, and it tells a story within the artworks themselves, which is very, very cool. I think it's a great artwork together. That being said, each individual part is not really all that interesting, but it tells a wider story that makes it very, very cool and very unique. And it's one of the only... Actually, I think it is the only card that does this, where it is specifically telling a story through the use of multiple different cards and having the artworks specifically connect, which I think is great. Do I like the Spellbinding Circle background or OG? I don't know. Feral Imp is a Feral Imp. I have nothing else to say about it. Flame Swordsman is... I don't know, he's kind of cool, but like it's not really all that interesting of an artwork. If you jack with only the limb in the PS1 game, it's funny though. That is fair. Anyway, Gaia is literally just a knight. It's just a knight. Like he's not, as much as I love Gaia, and this artwork is nostalgic to me. Artworks, not decks. As much as Gaia is nostalgic to me, it's not very good. Swift Gaia is much better. I do agree with that. That being said, Dragon Champion's better. Not by a lot, but it's a little bit better. Gearfried is a guy in a suit of armor. But damn, does that suit of armor carry. They animated the limb and chain, but not the pentagram, so it's just a flailing limb chained to nothing. The guy art makes no sense if you look at it closely. Yeah, you're absolutely correct. Giant Soldier of Stone is in fact a giant soldier of stone, and it works. Giant Trunade is, I don't know, it's kind of interesting. I actually think this one has kind of grown on me. Originally, I was like, eh. But I think it's a little bit more interesting than I gave it credit for. It's just a guy, like a face in a giant windstorm. And I think it works. This is Gearfried the Lightning, which is, I don't know, just guy with sword. This one also looks so strange in comparison to every other Yu-Gi-Oh card. I don't know if it's like the shading or if it's the background or what. It just looks wrong. It kind of looks like it's from a different game. It looks like a fake card. That's what it does look like. It looks like a fake card. You know those fake cards of like Dark Master or what have you? That's what this looks like. That's all. There's another art of it. Yes, I'm aware. This guy. Yeah, it's pretty classic Yu-Gi-Oh monster. Insect Queen. Yeah, it's pretty. Guilford. That's what it is. Jinzo. Look, there's something about Jinzo that just the pink background somehow helps this, which is surprising given the fact that that background is nasty. But specifically for Jinzo, I think it works really well due to the fact that Jinzo itself is such a terrifying creature. Android, Shocker, or Psycho Shocker. Yes, Android, Psycho Shocker. True, true. That being said, I do think actually Jinzo is just a better name for it. But, yeah. Wild. Wild artwork. Karibo. Look, while it is iconic, I don't think it's the greatest. It is just a furball. But that being said, it's an adorable furball. Lord of D. He kind of looks like a vampire. I just noticed. There's no way. I just noticed. So I originally thought his hands were like this, and he was doing this. He's like, dragon. I don't know what he was doing. I thought these little white parts over here that are his shoulders were his hands. No, his hands are outstretched. He's like, come here. I'm gonna get you. And that made that artwork so much worse for me. I'm sorry, him doing this and kind of spreading his wings, I thought looked way better. And now that I've seen the hands, I will never unsee them, and it makes me sad. The Kazuki art of Jinzo is also iconic. I absolutely agree. He's the OG Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast. Where is it? There we go. Oh. Oh, man. That actually seeing his hands makes it so much worse. All right. Yeah, go back down there. Man-eater bug. Pretty good. Marshmallow. He's a guy. Black meteor dragon. I don't know what it is about this dragon, but his fat, rotund body, it's something. It's weird. That's all. Mirror Force. I don't know. Mirror Force is hard to rate because it's like it kind of works, right? It's like reflecting the attack. So I don't know. It's not anything special. I don't know. Goddamn meteor dragon. Yes, we're ignoring trauma here. Mostly. Soggy the Clown is... honestly, I don't know where to put this. This guy is such a strange... This is Soggy, right? Soggy? Whatever his name is. This is such a strange artwork. Because it's so... abstract and abnormal and, like... it's positioned so weird. But it just... yeah, I don't know. It's wild. It's wild. That's all I have to say. It's wild. Because I don't know whether to put it, like, in F or an S. I'm just going to put it right here. Just put it right in the middle. It's... yeah. Imagination does a lot of heavy lifting for what's a generic force field. Yeah, pretty much. Obelisk. Wear his pants. Yeah, that's it. Wear his pants. I don't know. Obelisk is kind of just guy. Just big blue guy. But he does... you know, he is missing his lower half for some reason. It's very goofy. Here's Pot of Greed. That pot's got something going on. Something's happening with that. And, I'd rather not get my hand caught in the Pot of Greed. Premature Burial is it's a fine card. It's pretty good looking artwork. The red over the like blue hand and such, that works. It works. Scapegoat, it's just 4 goats. It's not really... I don't know, they're a bit of goofballs. Little goats. They're kind of cute. They're kind of cute. The smile is burned into our minds. True. Now, I actually like the other Ring of Destruction. I think the Grenade Ring of Destruction is kind of mid. The other Ring of Destruction, the censored, quote unquote censored version, I actually just think looks better. That being said, I'm not a fan of either of them. I just think one is slightly better than the other. What is this? Rocket Soldier or something of that nature? I don't know. There's some interesting ideas going on here, but it's just kind of basic. Oh, this one's Saji the Clown. I forget who this one is. Saji the Clown is iconic, but he is just a fucking clown. He's just a clown. Oh. Pot of Greed is based on the God of Greed. That's, well, yeah. Anyway. Sangan is just kind of goober. He is just a goober. I don't know. He's similar in nature to, like, Karibo. Shrink, I think, is a pretty terrible artwork. I'm not gonna lie. It's kind of hard to tell what's going on. I don't know. I don't think it's F, but it's... I don't know. It's fine. This is another silent swordsman. It's just guy with sword, guy with sword. True. Slifer. Pretty good artwork. Big fan of it. Yeah, that's true. I don't know. There's something about Slifer that I'm a fan of. Critter. It's just dragon. But it's got the 2 mouths, and the bottom mouth is open instead of the top one, which I think is interesting. It's a very long dragon. I think there are better artworks, though. Yeah, yeah. Spellbinding Circle. I don't know, this one's fine. Yeah, it's fine. The second mouth is really cool. Flute of Summoning Dragon. It is just kind of a cool-looking flute, but it is still just kind of a cool-looking flute. Ra is by far the worst of the artworks for the gods. That being said, it's not terrible. It does work, but it does kind of just look like a chicken. Thousand Dragon. Goated artwork. 10 out of 10. That's all. It's just an old-ass dragon, and he angry. Perfect. No notes. What is this? Thousand Eye Idol? Something along those lines. It works. It's the million eyes that gets you. Thousand Eyes Restrict is truly a horror movie villain. This is like The Thing from The Thing. This is Alien from Alien. This is something you would see in a true-ass horror movie and be like, what the fuck is that? And then you would have a mental breakdown. This is like Cthulhu-esque. Awesome. 10 out of 10. Phenomenal artwork. Quite Knifeful, I'm gonna ban you for that. Get your stupid-ass pun. Where's Relinquish, by the way? Relinquish is also up here. Relinquish is also goated. Incredible artwork. Time Wizard, also such a fucking good artwork. Oh, baby, what a good artwork. It's just a little wizard, and he's a fucking clock. Oh, baby. He's just a goofy goober. I love him. I love him. He's just... Yeah. He's a little bit better than Thousand Dragon, though. Let's be honest. Trap Hole. While it is iconic, I don't think it's necessarily all that interesting, but it does work, right? Like, sun beating down on a creature, he's in a hole. Cool. Makes sense. Force Raider. Man, that's that is an artwork. That's all. Yatagarasu is pretty interesting. Little bird standing on an orb. But it works. Especially because it is Yatagarasu specifically. I think that it paired with that name, paired with the spirit and all of that stuff, it's more than just like a bird, is what I'm trying to say. So I do think it's a bit better, but it is still fairly basic. I do not even remember who this is. That being said, it is not a bad artwork. It's a pretty solid artwork. There's a lot going on, and I think it's pretty interesting, especially in like color theory specifically, because you have like the very distinct like upper half being very yellow, and then the lower half being like a white, and it like fans out into like a purple. Very cool. I actually think it's pretty interesting. Shinoda from Noah's Ark. It's the bird I hate. Yes. Anyway, 5-headed dragon. Here's the thing. This could have been so much cooler, and it's just not. It's the same issue that like this one has, where it's just like, what is happening? I feel like we had a bigger picture, and we shrunk it, and it looks terrible. This is a card artwork of all time, but it's something. It's a snake on one end and a guy on the other. I don't know how they're standing or sitting or whatever, But man, does that look weird. But in like all the right ways. You're just like, what the fuck is that? And I think it works. I think it's just like that alien, inhuman nature of a monster. The real Zork art is too much even for Japan. True. Raigeki is, I mean, it's just a lightning bolt. It's just a bolt of lightning. It's not really all that interesting. Graceful Charity is fine. I don't know, it works. MST, I actually love this artwork. I think this is such a cool artwork. That's all. There's something in its simplicity. It's just a lightning bolt going into a big swirling typhoon. But that is what makes it so good. Is that it is very clearly just this, and it's a very basic card. And it works. It works really well. Magic Cylinder is fine. In terms of artworks, it's fine. Dark Hole is, in fact, a dark hole. But it does work pretty interesting. I think it's pretty interesting. It's not the greatest, but I do think it's similar in its nature to that of, like, Mystical Space Typhoon. I don't think it's quite the same, but it's that, like, you know, the green being used as similar to, like, this one with wind, where it's kind of like that wind-esque effect, sucking everything in. It works. It works. Indicate the tier list. Do you bound the snake tail thingy and ritual Zork art doesn't show his waist down? Interesting. Flame Wingman is I'm trying to debate in my head. I don't know. He's such a classic Yu-Gi-Oh card, but in all the right ways. It's such a wild mixture of both Burstinatrix and Avion, and it works really well as a fusion monster. I think it's a very unique monster, and its elements overall, I think, are just really, really well done. Great artwork. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yu-Gi-Oh has some stellar artworks. I think it's one of the... I know it's one of the reasons why I have enjoyed this game as much as I have. I think the artworks in Yu-Gi-Oh are very good. There you go. There you go. Crazy. Crazy. Dark Master was more in line with the first Dark RPG in the manga, where he's just a bipedal demon. True. Yeah, Zork wasn't on here. To be fair, this wasn't every artwork. It was just a lot of them. So, there's that. We definitely are missing a bunch. But there you go. Honestly, I'm going to move Robin Goblin up. This artwork's fantastic. Moving on. We have Master Duel decks. We have all the Master Duel decks. Now, granted, this is in Korean. So, uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. That being said, hold on. I actually have to check to see if we have the new... No, it does not look like we have the new decks. In which case, we're not going to rank these. Because I wanted the new stuff. And it looks like Dracotail is not on here. Tragic, you hate to see it. But that's okay. Ritual deck tier list. Wait, what? Yeah, I do not believe that I have a Yu-Gi-Oh tier list. Dang. Ugh. Hold on. Trying to censor the dragon. Maybe a coil around its back. Anyway, this is Yu-Gi-Oh! Ritual deck tier list. Rituals. What was I gonna say? I will try and find a tier list for best decks in general, but I don't know if we'll find one that actually contains the cards that we need, or the decks that we need. Anyway. What should I rank this on? Because if I just rank this on power, it's like very simple. It's like, oh, Mitsurugi is obviously the best, and like everything falls below that, right? I could just rank it based on vibes. Just vibes. Sorry, I immediately saw the first card, or the first deck in the lineup, and I went, oh, yeah, we need a jail tier. Vibes, Burger needs love. Necros is goated. 10 out of 10. No nuts. Perfect. Perfect ritual deck. Truly incredible. Prediction Princess is kind of mid. Pretty mid. Same thing with BLS. BLS is such a mid ritual deck. Silent on Marry, Shag, Kill. What the fuck? What? British? No, I'm just kidding. I don't hate that. Okay. It's a wild way to do this. I'll just do Kiss. Or... yeah, we'll do Kiss. And Kill. This is what we always played as a kid, right? Marry, Kiss, Kill. That's like literally the only time I ever played this game. Was when I was a child. And there you go. I'm killing the Necros. Makonko is a ritual deck? No. I'm absolutely murdering every single one of the Necros characters. Stop letting the ice barriers out, you dumb motherfuckers. Trishula was in prison. Why'd you let him out? You dumb broad. I'm gonna find you, and I'm going to take your knees. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Blue Eyes. He's kind of cute. Who's this? The Chaos, or the, not Chaos Angels. Yeah, Chaos Angels, right? Chaos Angel Penten? Eda-10? That sounds right. Chaos Angels. Why does that sound weird in my brain? Because I've been watching too much Warhammer lore. And I heard Chaos and went, Chaos! And then panicked. Heresy. Shino birds. Yeah. Yeah, they may be birds. But they're also barons and baronesses. So, yeah. 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 Vendred, the goat. My guy. Of course we marry that one. Doom. He's a cutie. I'll give it to him. Dark Magician. The Nephthys. Bird. Kill them all. We eating good tonight. Shooting Bird's literally made for marriage? Exactly. See, we get it. Anyway. My boy, Clavicus? What is his name? I forget his name. But, Clavicus, right? No. That's a bone. What is this guy's name? I forget. I forget his name. But, the Magic Key stuff. Magic Key's cool. I like him. This guy's a twink. So, I don't think it would be nice for me to marry him. Because I am not. Klefki! Yeah! I did not say Klefki. I said clavicle. Or clavicle. I said clavicle. But clavicle is the bone. Whatever his name is. Beta's Buster. That guy. That one. Don't worry about it. I'm losing my mind. Anyway. Sora from Kingdom Hearts. Makonko. Now, as much as I want to get... Murder. Burn them to the ground. Put them in the dirt. We also have to take the Dogmatica, all of them, out back, and just tell them to look at the flowers, you know? Same thing with the Gishkis. Man, they really made some terrible ritual decks, didn't they? It's burned to my retina. True. Yeah, voiceless is yeah, we marry the voiceless. I'll give him a voice. Speaking of killing, yeah, get the Drytrons out of here. Get them out of here. Speaking of Ryuge, this is one ritual monster. This isn't a ritual. Whatever. Mitsu. Okay, I do have to put down the Mitsu cards because they are terrifying. That's all. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Burger. What? Okay, so huh. I mean, that's a lot of demons, huh? Anyway, I'm marrying the megaliths. No, I'm just kidding. They are rocks, but maybe, you know, I am struggling with this one because megaliths. What do you even do with megaliths? Skull Guardian is married to his wife Lo. True, hadn't thought about that. Anyway, thruple. What do I even say about megalith? Rocks. Yeah, fuck it. They're rock solid. I trust them. I shouldn't, because they are, quite frankly, probably demons. Anyway, relinquished. Yeah. Murder war crimes that are done. Celebrity play Friday. They condition me to immediately glaze my eyes over at Betos Buster Reaperdocus Rescue Ferret and the Dorito Pendulum. Oh, true. Hello, I'm Snow, and this is my wife, Eritron. Who? Who? Who the fuck is this? Who is this? I don't know. He's kind of cute, though. Burn in hell. Where you belong. BLS is, I trust the BLS. He's cool. Prediction Princess. I mean, they are a princess. But they are a gambler, too. Are they? No. They have future. I'm just gonna keep it safe and just, you know, we're just not gonna think too much about that. And Archfiend. Oh, it's Archfiend. We still can't see Fool's head yet. It's been stuck in the portal for a decade. You don't need a head. It's fine. Anyway. Yeah, there you go. Cool. They're tarot readers? Exactly. That's why I'm like, nah, you know what? I'll keep it safe. We'll just give them a light kiss and then be on our way. Oh, anyway. Let's find a tier list. What if I do? Jay, what the? Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. However, I will outplay. I will allow myself to say Bible Muse is very pretty. Oh. 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 Duel Links character tier list. Oh, God. That was more people than I was expecting. I know it said 138, but then I actually scrolled down, and there was 138. Oh, no! Oh, here we go. Okay, I just need to see if Dracotail is on. Lunalight's on here. Megalith, new support. Dracotail! There we go. Okay. Dracotail. Let's talk about top decks. Post new cards. Tier 1. I think there is a very clear delineation between tier 1 and tier 2, and then tier 3, and then Rouge, and everything else. Now, notably, this is always, whenever I do this, I always specifically state that it is for climbing, because tournaments are a whole different thing, etc., etc. Yummy is the next tier 1. Whenever we get Yummy and Canine, yes, they are very clear includes in tier 1. We haven't gotten there. Beside the point, let's talk about Dracotail, the newest deck that is expected to be top tier. Where did it go? Dracotail. There it is. Very clearly, tier 1. Bada bing, bada boom. We know that one. That one's tier 1. Here's the thing. Dracotail does so many things really, really well, specifically for Master Duel, and I think it will actually give it a leg up over something like Yummy or Canine, whereas those decks, I think, will not be as well suited for a best of 1, which may sound crazy, but stick with me here for a second. Dracotail does 2 things really, really well. 1, it is very consistent, which is pretty nice. It is able to establish its board through multiple points of interaction very consistently, and it's a very easy board to establish, and it puts a lot of points of interaction immediately onto the board pretty succinctly, right? And 2, it plays well into pretty much every single hand trap. Notably, Maxi, Fuelos, which are the 2 important ones, because those 2 are the ones that matter the most. You can basically give your opponent 2 draws and do the full combo, which is fantastic, meaning that some of the most powerful cards against pretty much every other deck in existence basically don't do anything against Dracotail, letting it withstand quite a substantial amount of pressure because it just has the ability to not deal with like half of the cards in the game, which is very nice. That being said, it's still weak to a bunch of different cards, most notably things like Impulse, but that being said, pretty much everything else is fantastic for the deck. You basically just do, here's 2 guys, you get 2 draws, fantastic, we're off to the races. That being said, you can obviously do more if you want to, but that's one of the biggest benefits of this deck, is the fact that it does have the ability to just kind of go, hey, I got Max Seed, here's full combo anyway, and you only get 2 draws. So there you go. This is not a real deck. 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 I wish this was a real deck. Chimera is barely worth noting. Tistina's so piss. Sulfur doesn't have a new support. Nemlaria doesn't have a new support. Stahl, I wish was better, but it's really not. I will give Pearly a rogue tier, but it's really not all that great. RB is not currently in the game. I'm actually going to make an entire tier below. That is just in game. Voodoo. Where was the other one? Yummy. This is not really a deck. Sprite is rogue. Orchist is... I'm going to put Orchist in tier 2. Obviously, like, Orchist, Mitsu is very powerful. But Orchist by itself is still a very powerful engine. Regenesis is fine. Not a real deck. Necroz is not real. Even though it did get its new support, that support was so tragic, dude. I love Necroz, man. They butchered that deck. Anyways, Skull Servant, not a real deck. Not a real deck. Man, this deck is also terrible. Remember when everyone was terrified of Masterpiece coming to Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel? I still think that that card is stupid and shouldn't exist, but man, what is it? This deck, terrible. Draco Slayer. Draco Slayer? No, Draco King? Dragon? Draco Slayer? Whatever this one is. I forget his name. Oh my gosh. True Draco, thank you. Oh my gosh. True Draco. Terrible deck now. Makanko. Terrible. Whatever this one is, terrible. Impulse is like everywhere, and this one's terrible. Because of that. Mutant, not very good. Naturia, no. Ubel, maybe Rogue. It like still puts up a very incredible end board. The problem is that that end board dies to everything under the sun. Or sorry, not the end board. The establishing of the end board just dies to like everything under the sun. Tachyon exists. Utopic's like Rogue. Numeron's not very good. You're a pendulum deck, so you're not really good. You're not really good as much as I wish that Paleo was good. It's not. Monarch's actually not terrible. Except for the fact that I'm just blatantly lying to you. Every time I've played against this deck, it just doesn't do anything. It requires such specific hands. Maybe it's just because the people I play against are bad. I don't know. I feel like this deck is terrible, but I also have seen what it can do, and I know that it can be played better and can put up some pretty substantial boards. But that would require people to actually have good deck lists, which I just don't think is feasible. 6am's not real? No. As long as there's no Droll, Maxi, Fua, Nib, Imperm, Impulse, Veiler, Ash, etc., etc. Yeah, 6am dies to, like, everything under the sun. Not a real deck. I actually don't wish Prank Kid was real. Not real. Punk still exists. Primite. Blue Eyes is here, right? Probably. Primite as a whole, like, technically has stuff that it can do. Looks at domain. Exactly. Sovereign... what is this? Ragnarika. That's what they're called. Yeah, Ragnarika is really cool. Too bad they're terrible. You need Lithium Zora to play Monarchs. Yep. Raid Raptor. Not real. Ryzeal is actually still pretty good. You can play Ryzeal Mitsu, or you could play Ryzeal Onomat, both of which I think are very strong and have some killer end boards, and can play through Stoppage end boards and hand traps and yada yada. Novel. Nah. Fire Ace, no. Ritual Beast, no. Runic. Not until they unlimit some of the Runic cards, but they never will. Just give me my Runic cards back. They could literally unlimit the entire Runic archetype and no one would bat an eye. Nothing would change. I don't think... that's all. Salad. No. Tenpai. I actually do think that Tenpai is still playable. As much as I would hate to say that it is, it's not. It's just not. So, tragic. Scareclaw, not really playable. Sheenabird, not really playable. Voiceless is, I think, still rogue. I just don't see a reason to play it, but I don't think it's terrible. Sky Striker's rogue. Snake Eyes is rogue. Yes, it's still not dead. In fact, honestly, I'm going to put it in tier 3. I think this deck is significantly better than people are letting on. Resonator doesn't have its new card, so it's not really worth playing. I don't even think it's rogue. Spriggan, not real. Subterror, not real. Quantum actually got its new cards, and it is just a towers. And while people are playing out to towers more consistently, this one is such an insane towers that, like, you literally have to top deck a kaiju to not just immediately die. So, anyway. I blame the OCG for using Runic for stun. True. What the hell is going on with Super Heavy Samurai Wakaushi? I don't know. I think there is probably a build with Super Heavy Samurai that's crazy. I just can't think of one. But I do think that the Super Heavy Samurai cards are kind of crazy. Sharks are not very good. White Forest is... it's playable. Swoswo, no. Sylvan, no. Band, no. Bricka, no. Tier, 3. Tenyi? TG, Phantom Knights, Weather Painter, Therion, Thunder Dragon, Trap Trick, Tri Brigade. You know I gotta put Tri Brigade in Rogue, right? Even though I'm probably lying to you, and it's just genuinely terrible. It's not. You can play it with Sprite, and Sprite's crazy. Anyway, Trap Trick. Unchained. Unchained is actually Rogue. Don't worry, Sorcel, you'll be Rogue again one day. Yeah, sure. Artmage. Artmage is a new archetype. By the way, hold on, we don't have this one yet. Artmage is one of the newer archetypes that is being released, and I did do a little quick video about it. That being said, I don't even know if it's rogue. I'm gonna put it in rogue because I think that it has the ability to be rogue. That being said, I don't actually think that it's good. It is very easy to disrupt. And I think that's the biggest issue, is that disrupt's not the right term. Its end board is very beatable in almost every capacity, which I think is one of its biggest issues, is that in order to generate the advantage that you need, you have to be able to change your own cards, but your own cards also are not exactly great. So it's just, I don't know, it works, but it's not, what is the new 2-hour update for? Dracotail? 2 hour. It's gonna be longer than that, bud. Anyway, Ice Barrier, I think, is rogue. Yeah, Lancia's kind of crazy. If you make Lancia, you do just kind of win. I have no idea what this is. What deck is this? No idea. This is the Valmonica stuff. Vanquish Soul is not I'm gonna put it in rogue. It's not really that playable. We still don't have the new stuff, so there's that. Vernus Self is not real. Virtual World is not real. Volcanic's not real. Watt's not real. Witchcrafter, Pendulum, Zoo. How playable is Zodiac? Yours is only 2? What, like 2 more hours? Because it's already been going for 2 hours. So I don't know what you're talking about, bud. What deck is this? I don't know. It's Pendulum something or other. Abyss Actor. That's what it's called. Do we have Mathmech on here? Is Mathmech here? Does Mathmech exist? It does. Okay, then I'm not going to talk about Code Talker. Adamancipator is... Honestly, Adamancipator still has, I think, quite a bit that it can do. No, it does kind of brick to itself. No, it's pretty... yeah, it's pretty weak. Altergeist isn't real... Is that the only branded? Wait, hold on. Is this not the same archetype? Is this not Zoom Z? What archetype is this? What the hell is this? What archetype is this? Zoo is only good for popping Zeus. It's a generic rank 4 strat. Is that Killer Tune? No, I don't think so. Because this is Doom Z. What is this one? Is this Emmer Phage? They're both Doom Z? Why are we on here twice? I don't know. Okay. Basement's not real. This is... okay. This is a branded artwork. Okay, there's branded... Okay, so this is Despia. Despia's not real. Mitsu! Hey, we could talk about another tier 1 deck. Mitsu's crazy. Mitsu is absolutely insane. Yeah. That's pretty much it. We all know how powerful this deck is. It's mostly useful as a secondary engine, or even like a primary engine with a secondary engine, right? It's just an insane powerhouse in and of itself, allowing you to nuke the field, negate things, add huge monsters to your end board, etc. So it's pretty powerful. Yeah, what else to say? Ancient Gear. It is a best of 1. I feel like Ancient Gear does have some merit due to the fact that it can just punch you really, really hard. Sure. Ancient Warriors aren't really good. Yeah, Arcana doesn't really exist. No. Stun! Yeah, stun is stun. Stun is stun. One is the patron, the other is the leader. Yeah, but they're both the Doom Z stuff, right? I don't think we have either of these. I could be wrong. Battle Wasp. Nope. Burning Abyss is not real. It's not real. BES is not real. Even though Circular for 5 is crazy, it still doesn't do anything. Isn't that wild? BLS. Wait, didn't we already have BLS? No, I don't think so. The one on the left just isn't named Doomsy. Oh. What? This deck doesn't really do anything. That one doesn't really do anything. Drag... I don't think Dragon Link does anything. I don't know, maybe it does. Sure. I'm gonna put it in Rogue. Branded is Rogue. Fire Fist isn't real. Blackluster Soldier's not real. Chaos is not really a deck. It's more like Dragon Link, if anything. Chronomaly is not real. This one's not real. No. Crystron, I actually do think has plays. I'm gonna put it in Rogue for now. Might move up. I think Crystron's pretty good. Gimmick Puppet is Rogue because it's an FTK. Cyber Angel doesn't really do anything. How good is the new support for Cyber Dragon? It doesn't change that much, right? It changes very little. I don't think it's enough. I think it's still just like unplayable. This is more of an engine than an actual deck. Dark Magician exists. It's just one of the hero things. Hero is Rogue though. It always is. It always will be. Cyber Dragon is Rogue. Is it? I have yet to see Cyber Dragon actually do anything. Most of the time they just, I don't know, fall apart. You like look at them the wrong way and they just explode. Dino Morbin. Turns out Floodgates are pretty good. Dogmatica. This is the new DDD stuff, right? This is like the new DDD fusion or something. No, I mean Cyber Dragon. Dragoonity. Drytron. Yeah, Drytron does stuff. Feet. Dragon Ruler. Yeah, Dragon Ruler doesn't do anything. Eldritch tragically doesn't do anything. Eldritch might do something with the Odion cards, but I really don't think Odion helps Eldritch in any meaningful capacity. Like, maybe you could play Odion Eldritch, but that sounds really terrible. Maybe. Anyway, Endymion. Nah. Gishki. Nah. What is this? What is this? What is this artwork? Is this Materiactor? I don't know. It looks like a Materiactor. I'm gonna say this is Materiactor. Exosister. Ashind. Fabled. Fiendsmith. Fiendsmith is still a solid engine. However, I'm gonna put it in tier 3. I think Fiendsmith overall. The problem with Fiendsmith is that there's not really a deck that uses the Fiendsmith engine effectively. So there's that. Guy explodes. The artwork. Some people are expecting Odion to do better in best of one, like Master Duel. Counterpoint: Master Duel has Red Reboot, and Heavy Storm, and Harpy's Feather Duster, and Lightning Storm, and all of this other bullshit. So as much as I want to agree that Odion theoretically should do better, it's also just in a worse position due to the fact that there is more heinous crimes available to trap cards than other such formats. Yeah. Going second is bad with every deck. What are you talking about? Flunder. Nah, Flunder still, for some reason, has map at 1. I don't know what's going on. Why is map at 1? Melodious? No. As much as I love... Actually, yeah, Melodious is rogue. Melodious actually has a pretty solid end board. And the fact that it can play Orange Light is kind of crazy. As much as I wish Fur Hire was playable, it's just not. Freight Fur's not really anything. Great Guardian. Gem Knights is crazy. Tier 2. Still does stupid bullshit combo stuff. Oh, that's what deck is using Fiendsmith, is the Gem Knight stuff. You just end on like Fiendsmiths. Kind of crazy. Goaty, not really playable. No. Goblin Beggar's kind of a little bit rogue. Is this Gold Pride? Is this a Gold Pride card? This looks like a Gold Pride card. I can't remember. Primarily trap decks? Yeah, I guess. However, trap decks also have the ability to play like Imperm, Impulse, and stuff like that, which makes it a lot easier to play these decks. So while, yeah, it is weaker, generally, both Lab and Odion have the added benefit of being able to play just generally good hand traps, right? And like Maxi and Fua are still cards that exist, and you can just drop on your opponent and kind of skip their turn. So I don't think trap cards are necessarily bad because, like, oh, you have to go second 50% of the time. It's like, yeah, that's the case in a best of 3 as well, right? Except your opponent also gets to side stuff for you. Whereas in a best of 1, they're unlikely to side stuff, so there's that. Why did they use Eradicator and not Leon or Carry? Great question. What's up, Unsolved? How's it going? Allure Queen. There was like an Allure Queen White Forest shenanigan thing that was going on. I don't know how good that was, but it existed. Goki is like unplayable right now, which is crazy to think about because Goki is insane. But at least the card design is wild. But yeah, I guess it just doesn't do anything. This deck loses to itself. Isn't that funny? We don't have the new cards, technically, so I'm going to put this here, even though we do have all of the rest of the Megalith stuff, so there's that. Ryuge, no, not really. This card is banned. What the fuck? Why is Aggro Pain here? Bro, got his ass banned. They have a lot of advantages over the meta. Theoretically, trap decks have advantages over the meta, but not really. It's not like you're playing an anti-meta deck if you're playing something like Odion, right? You are just playing a different deck. But, like, Malice isn't going to care. Mitsurugi isn't really going to... I guess Mitsu kind of cares. Like, most of the top decks are just going to be able to play through most of those. Or at least has the ability to play through most of those. And is, like, more well-positioned. I don't know. Traps... I could talk for days about trap cards. I'm not gonna. I actually think Gene Raider is not... Am I just lying to myself? I feel like Gene Raider, for some reason, is not terrible. I'm probably lying to myself. I don't know why this is here. Horus is probably still usable. I don't know if there's a deck that can use Horus effectively, but I feel like there's something there. I feel like there's something there. Infernity, no. Infernoid, no. Kaiju's not really a individual deck, and Kaijus are okay right now. They're not great, though. Invoked isn't really that great. Yeah, Infernoble's not great. Neither is Synchron. Jurak. Jurak is... Jurak is almost exclusively used as an engine in Fire King. You're never really playing a Jurak deck as much as you are just playing some cards to pop for your Kieran, and that's kind of it. Crystron can use Horus. When is Crystron ever going to use Horus? Because, like, the Millennium cards exist. And they'd way rather use those, right? But you are not wrong. They could use that. Anyway. Why is Crystron on here twice? They put Hulk and Hulk 2 on here. Okay, that's something. Cash is... Yeah, it's playable. Oh, what is this one? What is this one? I have no idea what this one is. Do we have this card yet? I think we do, right? I don't remember. It was kind of big in the TCG because we didn't have the Millennium cards at that point. Oh, that's Radiant Typhoon. Okay. I always forget about this card being in Radiant Typhoon. Because I more associate it with, like, the Quick Play spell that searches the MST that is used in, like, Sky Striker. Or with the, with, like, the Trap card. I always forget that this is the Radiant Typhoon guy. Lab. Where do I put Lab? Probably Rogue, right? Nah, I'm gonna put it in tier 3. I think Lab is definitely playable. I think it's got a lot of... I think just getting access to the ability to kind of play that like hand trap variant style means that you have a lot more power going second, and you don't really play into any particularly terrible cards except for like Impulse, right? But you also get to play Impulse, so I think it's actually pretty good. Dragon Maid. I'm actually gonna put Dragon Maid in Rogue, similar to like Dragon Link. You can just generic dragon stuff is pretty solid at any given time. Fire King. Tier 3. I think Fire King's just solid. Just good deck. I don't think it's been power crept enough. Especially since everything is at full power for that deck now. No. This is not really a deck. This is mostly used as an engine. Live Twin stuff, technically not in the game. However, I do expect it to show up in the game. And because of that, I'm going to put it into tier 3. I think it will be able to use the Fiendsmith stuff pretty effectively. I do think that it has a fair amount of power behind it. It's not like insane by any stretch of the imagination, but like a 1-card combo that does not only just the full Fiendsmith line, but also all of the Live Twin stuff as well is not bad. Like that's pretty good, right? And then on top of that, having the ability to play like 90 hand traps is, you know, that's pretty good. Lunalight, I'm also going to put in tier 3. Pretty good. Lyralisk. I can't put it not in Rogue. Was my favorite archetype... Wait, what? Was my favorite, like, summoning mechanic? Probably at this point, Link summoning. I think the best one is Synchro. But my favorite is Link. Actually, I lied. It's Ritual. I forgot about Ritual. Because I was thinking extra deck summoning mechanic. Blue Eyes. Blue Eyes I still think is pretty playable as well. It is still probably the best way to play the Primate cards, and the Primate cards are still very, very good. Being able to just like being able to like targeted negate and banish is very, very solid right now. So Malice, hate to say it, still playable, even though Red Ransom is banned. I know so many people are probably like, it's finally dead. It's not. It's not. It's never gonna die. Cybers is an archetype in and of itself. And while yes, Red Ransom does curb the power level of the Malice end board, it's not enough. You still have the ability to make pretty much everything. So yeah, it does make it weaker though, like substantially. And I do think that it is a very clear decrease in quality. Malice won't die until Whitebinder is gone. I don't necessarily agree with that. I think it's... I think there's a bunch of ways that you could genuinely remove Malice. I think Whitebinder is the cleanest way of doing that, because that does take away a lot of the power of the deck. But I also think that taking away, like, Splash Mage and Link Decoder and Access Code would also do it. You know, taking away, like, generic cyber support, removing its consistency pretty heavily would be another way of doing it. Is like, oh yeah, what if you only get one of each Malice monster? It's like, oh, well shit, now I can't do anything, right? So there are like other ways, but the most elegant is Whitebinder. Just remove Whitebinder. This is Manadium, which is not really playable by itself. Mostly you'd use it with... Right now, mostly the Manadium cards are being used with the White Forest, if I'm not mistaken. So there's that. Marincess is just not great. Mathmech is still playable. Gonna put it in Rogue. Malice Bricks? What Malice deck are you playing? Bro, I never brick. What are you talking about? That's not true. I do brick. But I brick pretty inconsistently. Mech Knights. Mech Lords. Melfi. Stare. Memento. I actually still think Memento is very playable. Lightsworn's not really playable. Dream World. Dream Mirror. That's what it's called. Cyrus has 2 trillion searchers. True. Yeah. I think Mermail is still playable. Very, very playable. No, not really. This card does not exist. Wait, didn't I already talk about Typhon? Or not Typhon. Tachyon. I guess this is Galaxy Eyes. What are you talking about here? Tier list. Best decks. Umi is... I don't know, it's a stun deck. It's just so inconsistent, though. Like, you'd much rather just play a regular stun deck of, like, normal summon a barrier statue. Not really playable. What deck is that? I don't know. Adventure, I think, is not a terrible engine. I just think that there's not currently a deck that can make use of the Adventure engine effectively. And I think that's its biggest issue. But I still think it's a good engine. Except for the fact that then you'd have to draw Griffin every once in a while, which is pretty bad. What archetype is this? Oh, is this Crystal Beast? Yeah. Dino. Man. Talk about a deck that bricks. Dino. Centurion is Rogue. Until they ban Crimson Dragon, it will forever exist. Bestial. Honestly, Bestial is kind of crazy right now. Bestial's just pretty solid in general, especially as an engine. There's a lot of decks that want to sound like Lights and Darks. Most notably Mitsu, but also Orchist, the Gemini cards being able to like banish those, the Malice cards being able to banish those. There are also extenders in Malice, which is something. So Dark Lord's not real as much as I want to say that it is. Azamina's mostly just used in White Forest, which is so I'm not really gonna rank that one. Flame Swords is not really playable. Neither is Bees. Neither is this one. Magistus is kind of actually playable, mostly as an engine, but it's still playable. You could also play it within Dracotail, which is kind of interesting. So there's that. But there you go. This is mostly what we're looking at. What am I missing? Odion. Why is Odion not here? What the fuck? What the frick? Hold on. Do I have... I don't. Damn. Boop doo boop 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 boop. Man! There he is. This deck being called Man sometimes is very funny. I'm going to put this in the same tier as Lab. I think it's better than Lab overall. But I don't think it's like a tier above anything else. I think it's playable. I think it has a lot of power behind it, specifically with the like Apophis. More or less the Apophis non-target Omni Negate. Very powerful effect. And they can have multiple of those. On top of the fact that they're able to pretty consistently see a lot of that stuff. I think it's pretty solid. Going first is very advantageous. And on top of that, being able to play some very powerful hand traps as well, like Impulse or pretty much any of the Dominus cards. It's pretty solid. I also don't think that there is a deck that particularly cares. Dracotail can pretty effectively deal with the trap cards. So can like Ryzeal and stuff like that. So it's not like it's well positioned into like, you know how, what was it? Duel basically just couldn't deal with trap cards. I think that there's not really a deck that can't deal with trap cards right now. But that being said, I still think that it's very playable. Man. He's Shizu and man. I love that the name of this deck sometimes is just man. Like, oh yeah, man. Guy. Human. Individual. Let me guess. Wow, great. Oh, wait. Wait, what? I'm sorry, hold on. Can I log in now? That's crazy. We're staggering logins. Hey, yo? Is it really already over? Oh. That's odd. Liar! Liar and slave. When did they start doing that? I just assumed it would be longer. Can anyone else get in? Too bad I can't afford much, because I didn't have any gems in the first place. True. Same. Did they just add the like Dracotail stuff? I guess, maybe? I figured they would have also added the Duelist Cup and stuff like that, but yeah, normally it takes like another 2 hours. So, I'm in. Perks of playing on console. All I had to do was nothing. Never mind. Shh, don't say anything. Japan High School Championship campaign? What? I'm sorry, what? What? Huh? What the fuck is the Japan High School Championship? Is there... What? Okay. Is there a confirmed date for the Duelist Cup? Not that I've seen. All of this stuff is today. New Secret Pack! Magnificence of Angels. They removed Christia. And they added... Angel of Bravery... Okay. They added a bunch of random cards. Sweet Roommate was removed? Oh, added. That was it. Did we not get a new secret pack for the Live Twin stuff? They really didn't add the Live Twin stuff? Wait, that's crazy. What? Oh. Huh? What do you mean? New icons, new mates. No, sleeves. Okay. We have a new campaign for... I'm sorry, what? What do I get? Stuff. Okay. Cool. Yay. Hooray. Got the Dracotail bundle, true. What is this? Hold on. What? I'm sorry, what is this? Okay. It didn't tell me anything. It told me nothing! High school student tournament event is only applicable to high school students in Japan. Damn. This is a terrible structure? Is it? I mean, it's terrible because it is a new / returning player structure deck, and they're giving them branded cards, which seems like a terrible idea, but I don't think it's that bad. Coin! You know I love me some coin. Oh yeah, that's weird. Yeah, they said this would be like a 3.5 hour maintenance, and it was over already. What the fuck? That's crazy. I clicked the wrong button. We still don't know anything about the Duelist Cup. Are we getting the Duelist Cup? Of course we're getting the Duelist Cup. Why would they not give us the Duelist Cup? Let's check it out. What's in the pack? Okay. New cards. We got 2 reprints, Silo Hat and Mysterium. What? Silo? I'm sorry. Hold on. Why the fuck is Silo Hat here? The hell is this guy doing? Oh, because he sets a... Oh, okay. It's for Odion. Okay, that makes sense. All right. Let's take a look at what we have. We have Man, and we have Apophis as URs. And those are the only 2 URs for this deck. Interesting. They didn't make the field spell a UR. They made an SR. Okay, interesting. They made Ketu, Malulu, Phimena, and Arthalion URs for Draco. And then Artmage has 4 URs. Power Patron, Medius, Dracotail, Deactorus, and Creation. What? That's weird. That's strange. Glad Odion is somewhat budget. Yeah. That being said, the other 2, not a chance. People don't want to buy the last coin bundle for 16. It says on the water and how much people will pay for the coin. It's not just a coin. Okay. Artmage is the new branded though, so of course it's going to be expensive because they're going to eventually make it really powerful, and you're all going to have to buy these terrible, no good, very bad cards. Oh, that's true. Secretarion also is needed. True. You hate to see it. You hate to see it. Oh, and of course, literally every single one of the Artmage cards is just high rarity. Like, literally every single one of them. Holy crap. Wait, literally. Oh my god. Holy shit, dude. Is there a single, like, low rarity Artmage? 1. 2. What? What the hell? That's awful. Why would they do this? Dude, Artmage is... Yikes. I do want to build Odion, at the very least. Do I just buy the bundle? It's in the bundle. Dracotail. I get a UR guaranteed. Maybe. Nah, this one's probably not worth it, huh? Yeah, probably not. I'm not a fan of the cosmetics. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. So is Artmage worth it? No. Not a chance. Not a frickin' chance. Regardless of how expensive it is, it would not have been worth it. Even if it was just the 2 Artmage fusions being UR. Bruh. Artmage has the highest dismantle rate? I doubt that. Have you ever seen Tistina? Still can't log in? Tragic. Have you tried, getting good? Can I get an Odion card? Odion UR, I should say. No, I can get Crystal Avatar. True. That's a card I will play. I know that card from the anime. It's not very good. Even in the anime, I was like, why are we playing this card? Awesome. This is why I bust out the auto clicker. This should just eat it. What should? You can just click the skip button. I just elected not to. Oh, yay! Hey, there was a minute ago, yeah. Kaiba wanted to throw. Honestly, you're probably correct about that. You're probably right. I'm actually genuinely surprised they didn't give us the live twin stuff. Like, why? Why no live twins? Weapon? Oh, why no live twins? Alright. Man. Oh, I literally just typed in man. Man. And with Mark. Yeah, there we go. What would a Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG deck list for Odion look like is the question. Odion? Yeah, of course it's called Odion. They're all playing Primite. Why are we playing Primite? Great Quevin. I don't know. Because technically speaking, they're all a bunch of normal monsters. Purge and songs. Interesting. Dominus Spiral. What the hell? Do we have this card? We don't have this card. During determine your opponent the monster effect in the hand of grave. You can activate this card from your hand. Target the monster controls. Return it to the hand the next day. Then if you have an entrapment in your graveyard, your opponent can special from the grave. You can activate this card from your hand. Can activate the effects of light or dark monsters for the rest of this duel. Oh well, crazy. Oh, YCS Lil. Oh, we're playing Gamma? Delta Gamma. Oh, this is like barely Odion. We're playing Impulse? What? What? Oh. Oh. Okay, I do think the Primate cards are the way to go. I will figure this out. Maybe we'll play this guy. Pophis. Oh, what was the extra deck? That's the real question. 3 of that guy. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm not fine. I'm lying to you. Just straight up blatantly lying to you. 2 a piece of each. Okay. Do we not play Embodiment? Like, I'm pretty sure you're supposed to play Embodiment, right? Or do we not? Doesn't this, like, isn't there a thing that sets specifically Embodiment of opposes? I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Okay, Primite. What were the other Primate decks playing? What the hell? Okay. They are playing Circuit. Are we playing the new? Oh, we are playing OG Temple of Kings. Is that Syriax list? Apparently. There's the sets OG Apophis, but the list clearly didn't want it, which is understandable. Ah, yes. Yeah, isn't it this one? Is this card sent? You can add an embodiment of Apophis from deck to hand. Yeah, don't we play like I feel like you should play the embodiment, right? Maybe you don't. Maybe with the Primate stuff you do, right? Nah, maybe not. I don't know. Doesn't seem like anyone is actually playing it. They are playing the Dominus cards. Dominus. Uh-oh. SpaghettiOs. Evenly droplet. Evenly droplet. I only have 2 of this? Uh-oh. Imperm. Do. Max, cockroach. Called by. Do we play Extrav? No. Maybe. No. Maybe. Play like Gamma? Oh, I need Angel. Angel. Trump. Peter. Yeet. He was in my hand. Frame 1. True. Deck same attribute, different types? I believe so, yeah. Yep. Do. Four of them are Medius. You gotta play Artmage now. What else do we add? We can add like Ash, but I don't think that does anything. Typhon, because of course. I think I am just gonna add the embodiment of Apophis as like the 40th card. We could play like Statue of Anguish pattern or something. Slow. Is that how you spell it? Slow. How do you spell silhouette? Rabbit. Silho hat. He's a hoe. Anyway. Where's the rat? There he is. There he is. There's the boy. Alright. Is there a point to playing like Fua in main? Are they side decking Fua? They are not. We could play Retaliating. What the fuck? Ting. Is there? Probably, right? It's an Earth, notably. What does this card do again? Temple of the King. Enter traps by placing 2 of them on the bottom of the deck in any order. This got sent to the graveyard. From hand to the graveyard, add a mana with the mark. From deck to the hand. Spell trap you control is destroyed by card effect. You can trigger a card your opponent controls destroyed. I don't know if playing Retaliating is worth it. It might be. Do. No, I think this is fine. I think this works. What's during the main phase? You can add Temple of the Kings or spell that mentions it. How much do I need? A lot. Okay. Alrighty. What are we looking to dismantle? Do I have an archetype I could dismantle? Exodia. Is this where we finally dismantle Ashened? Yeah, probably. I could also dismantle Goblin, to be fair. Fuck him. Don't want him. Get him out of here. I'll keep Gabong, I guess. But I don't want this guy. How much is this? 80? I need like 120 or something like that. Why are you here? Great question. I have no idea. No idea. No clue what deck that was used for. We could also dismantle Gem Knights. I don't think I'm ever going to play Gem Knights. I hate Gem Knights. But we'll keep them around. Should I? No. Am I gonna? Yeah. Huh. Oh, hey, look, another Ashen card. I really don't have anything else that I can dismantle, huh? Tragic. I don't know, I might be able... I guess I could go like this. Excuse for playing Small World. Dude, I hate Small World. I hate banishing my own cards. Feels so terrible. You just got kicked out? Probably a bug. Fun. Alright, well, I will dismantle this. Yep. Damn. Probably a bug. Well, if that's the case, I have no idea how long this new maintenance is gonna last. It says this. Game campaign access. I'm just gonna end stream here because I don't know how long it's gonna take. I was gonna play Man today. I guess we're not. So, I might make a video about it. We'll see. But yeah, I'm gonna end stream here because this could take an hour. It could take 20 minutes. It could take 4 hours. Who knows? Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you guys did indeed enjoy. If you did, like, it's very much appreciated. And remember to always stay frosty. Bye-bye. Bye.